is called WordSlingers, where the words we live, not for the meek. I'm your ever-loving host, Michael C. Watson, sitting here basking in the glory of always, Janet Kuypers. Go for it. We can applaud. I think we can applaud that.
Lots of stuff there. And I wanted a sample because I want to talk a little bit about Scars Publications. And you hear the loud thump of books falling.
Wow, okay.
We run 2 literary magazines, CC&D magazine, and a supplement to CC&D called Down in the Dirt. And if anybody's interested in submitting poetry or prose, they can go to scars.tv, and there are links to both magazines there, and you have email submissions. We love email submissions.
Right.
And not only can you be published in a magazine, but Scars Publications has been running collection books of 6 issues, and these heavy book noises were 6 issues of CC&D magazine, 6
Wow.
issues of Down in the Dirt.
Wow.
They're huge, monstrous things. And we also annually run collection books of just the best things we can find. We've got a poetry book here and a prose book right here. So we do run these things quite regularly and often. Kind of like Chicago, publish early, publish often.
You're deep in the business of this.
Oh, I'm afraid so.
What led you to poetry? What your background led you to start crafting
poetry?
Yeah.
Well, the first poem I ever wrote was for a class. I was 9 years old, which I actually know by heart because I've actually had to read it places.
Okay.
It's scary. And I think I would do rhyming things every once in a while in high school. And then after starting off in life and seeing traumas around me, as I had said, I had started in schooling and learning about acquaintance rape and seeing the traumas that people would go through and seeing other people's lives, you can't just let stuff be bottled up inside of you, and so I would look toward writing to be able to get it out. I originally started college as a computer science engineer. Wouldn't you know that? I was the geek, I was the math whiz, and I found myself in my spare time taking pictures, being the photographer, and writing a lot in my spare time, and I just thought, why am I doing something that is making me miserable as well as seeing everything around me? Why don't I go into something more related? So I went into journalism now, focused on graphic arts and specialized in poetry and a minor in photography, and I've never left it. And so then I thought I could hear other people's work as well. So I just started doing it for the publishing as well.
All right. Tell me this. I'm just looking at this. What's been your biggest reward? What do you think has been your greatest reward as a writer so far?
Greatest reward?
As a writer, as a poet, as a performance artist.
I have to say that I do like it when doing performance work where people will come up to me and say something novel about the work.
Mm-hmm.
As a publisher, I have to say I enjoy seeing finished products of books. I'm holding this one book, which is the most recent one from CC&D.
Yes, yeah.
This is a cover of a newt, but it's a plastic newt that had a little thing stuck to a window,
okay.
And there was a plant underneath, so I just cloned out the little suction cup.
Okay.
But it's like it's this cool looking thing, and so I, being the creative person with writing, with images as well. I mean, I've got this one, the Book of Scars, which is the prose collection book, with barbed wire that I had photographed near 3 domes up in Wisconsin, and I just started cloning it and writing it, and I'm like, this is absolutely gorgeous just to have like for this little prose book and have something like that. The poetry collection book is water running that we actually, when we were traveling across the country, stopped and I photographed the top of my car because it had been raining and there was water all over it. And the beads of water were all over it. So, so looking for things in nature that you don't expect to find when it comes to being the photographer is a really excellent way to be able to find things that you can use for. I don't know. I enjoy. What are the things that? What is the biggest thrill for me? I don't know. I don't know. When people will contact me via email, because I've done a number of poems about women's issues where I quoted some writer talking about things, and 10, 15 years later they emailed us saying, oh my gosh, you have this, and I can't believe that my stuff is in poetry, this is stuff, and the people that will actually find me, musicians will find me from other parts of the country and want to work with me, and I find that really fascinating, that I'll be able to, that's the beauty of the internet, they say it's something that can keep you apart because you sit in front of your computer and don't actually communicate with people. I love humanity as people I can't stand. Having connections with people that you would never otherwise meet is really, really fascinating. I love it.